Hello everyone and welcome to the World War Photographer channel. Today, we will talk about naval battles during World War I. Don't forget to subscribe to support our work. The German submarine UB-148 surrendered to the Allies, sails at sea after World War I. Built in 1917-18 but never commissioned, it was handed over to the British on November 26, 1918, and later used by the US Navy for a victory bond drive. An interior view of a British Navy submarine under construction at Clyde and Newcastle, showcasing the complex engineering behind these wartime vessels. The evacuation of Suvla Bay, Gallipoli Peninsula, in January 1916, marked the end of a failed Allied campaign to capture Constantinople. After 8 brutal months, troops withdrew under naval cover. In the Dardanelles, the Allied fleet destroys a disabled ship obstructing navigation, clearing the way for military operations. The British aircraft carrier HMS Argus, converted from an ocean liner, carried 15 to 18 aircraft, but saw no combat as it was commissioned at the end of World War I. Its dazzle camouflage made it harder for enemies to target, especially from submarines. US Marines and sailors pose aboard an unidentified ship, likely the USS Pennsylvania or USS Arizona in 1918, capturing a moment of camaraderie during wartime. A mine is hauled ashore on Heligoland in the North Sea, October 29, 1918, highlighting the dangerous efforts to secure waterways during the war. On July 12, 1916, a Curtiss Model AB-2 was catapulted from the USS North Carolina. This warship made history on November 5, 1915, as the first to launch an aircraft by catapult while underway. The USS Fulton, an American submarine tender, is shown in dazzle camouflage at the Charleston Navy Yard, South Carolina, on November 1, 1918. Men on the deck of a ship remove ice, captured on a winter morning while returning from France. The rocks of Andromeda, Jaffa, with transports carrying war supplies heading out to sea in 1918. This image, captured using the Paget process, is an early example of color photography. A 155mm gun is landed at Sed El Bahr, with warships stationed near the Gallipoli Peninsula, Turkey, during the Gallipoli campaign. Sailors aboard the French cruiser Amiral Auber pose for a photograph beside an anvil fixed to the deck, showcasing a unique moment on board. The German battleship SMS Kaiser is seen on parade for Kaiser Wilhelm II in Kiel, Germany, around 1911 to 1914, highlighting its impressive presence. The British submarine HMS A5, part of the first A-class, was intended for harbour defence during World War I. However, it was destroyed by an explosion shortly after its commissioning in 1905 and did not see combat. In 1917, the Big Gun section of the US Navy Yard in Washington, D.C., where large artillery pieces were manufactured and prepared for service. A cat, the mascot of the HMS Queen Elizabeth, strolls along the barrel of a 15-inch gun on deck in 1915, adding a touch of charm to the ship's powerful presence. The USS Pocahontas, a US Navy transport ship, is shown in dazzle camouflage in 1918. Originally a German passenger liner named Princess Irene, she was seized by the US in 1917 and renamed after the country entered the war. A dramatic last-minute escape from a vessel torpedoed by a German submarine around 1917. As the ship sinks, with its bow submerged and stern rising, men slide down ropes to safety as the final boat pulls away. The Burgess seaplane, a tailless swept-wing biplane variant of the Dunn D.8, is seen in New York around 1918, operated by the New York Naval Militia. German submarines docked in a harbor with several U-boats lined up, showcasing their imposing size and military power. The USS New Jersey, BB-16, a Virginia-class battleship, dressed in camouflage during 1918, showcasing its distinctive wartime paint scheme. A British Royal Navy vessel launching a torpedo in 1917, highlighting the intensity and precision of naval warfare during World War I. The British cargo ship SS Maplewood under attack by the German submarine SMU-35 on April 7, 1917, off the coast of Sardinia. U-35, the most successful U-boat of World War I, sank 224 ships, claiming thousands of lives. Crowds gather at Outer Harbour, South Australia, to welcome camouflage troop ships returning with men from overseas service circa 1918. The German cruiser SMS Emden beached on Cocos Island in 1914 after being damaged by HMAS Sydney while attempting to raid a British radio station. The German battlecruiser Seydlitz burns during the Battle of Jutland on May 31, 1916. Despite heavy damage, it managed to reach Wilhelmshaven under its own power. A German U-boat stranded on the south coast of England after it was surrendered following the end of hostilities in World War I. The surrender of the German fleet at Harwich on November 20, 1918, marked a significant moment in the aftermath of World War I. The German Navy, after months of defeat and uncertainty, formally handed over its fleet to the Allies, signaling the end of its naval power and the culmination of the war at sea. The German submarine U-10 races through the waters at full speed, showcasing the growing power of the Imperial German Navy's U-boat fleet during World War I. Its swift movements highlight the increasing effectiveness of submarine warfare. The SMS Schleswig-Holstein, a battleship of the Imperial German Navy, fires a powerful salvo during the Battle of Jutland on May 31, 1916, in the North Sea. The battle marked a crucial naval engagement between British and German forces. Life in the Navy shows sailors fencing aboard a Japanese battleship between 1910 and 1915. This scene captures the discipline and camaraderie of naval life during that era. The Leviathan, once the German passenger liner Vaterland, departs Hoboken, New Jersey, bound for France. Covered in dazzle camouflage, it carried 12,000 soldiers on average per trip, completing the round journey in 27 days during the spring and summer of 1918. A portside view of the camouflaged USS K-2, a K-class submarine, off Pensacola, Florida, on April 12, 1916. The submarine's unique camouflage pattern helped it blend in during wartime operations. The intricate inner machinery of a U.S. submarine viewed amidships looking aft. This detailed machinery was essential for the submarine's operations, ensuring its functionality and safety during missions. The Zeebrugge raid on April 23, 1918, aimed to block the Belgian port by sinking ships in the canal. Though 2 ships were sunk, 583 lives were lost, and the canal reopened shortly after. The photo is from May 1918. Allied warships navigate the sea while a seaplane performs a flyby overhead, captured in 1915. The Russian battleship Tsesarevich, a pre-dreadnought battleship of the Imperial Russian Navy, docked around 1915. The British Grand Fleet, commanded by Admiral John Jellicoe, heading toward the Imperial German Navy for the Battle of Jutland in the North Sea on May 31, 1916. In October 1914, the crew of HMS Audacious boards lifeboats to be taken aboard RMS Olympic. The Audacious, a British battleship, was sunk by a German naval mine off the coast of Donegal Island. The wreck of the SMS Königsberg after the Battle of Rufiji Delta. The German cruiser was scuttled in the Rufiji Delta, a river in Tanzania, over 100 kilometers navigable before flowing into the Indian Ocean, about 200 kilometers south of Dar es Salaam. The troop transport Sardinia, painted in dazzle camouflage, docked at a wharf during World War I. This distinctive camouflage was designed to confuse enemy forces and make it harder to determine the ship's speed and direction. The Russian flagship Tsarevich passing HMS Victory around 1915. This moment captures the grandeur of two iconic ships from different navies during the early 20th century. A German submarine surrenders to the US Navy, marking the end of its mission in World War I. The event signifies a turning point as the war nears its conclusion. The German cruiser SMS Blucher sinks during the Battle of Doggerbank on January 24, 1915, after a fierce battle between German and British dreadnoughts. Nearly 1,000 sailors lost their lives. This image was captured from the deck of the British cruiser Arethusa. Thank you for watching until the end. I hope you enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the like button, and share your thoughts in the comments below. See you in the next video.